Joshan, good morning, Joshan. Joshan, can you hear me?
Sir, good morning.
Yeah, very good morning, very good morning, bro. Shall we start the session, Joshan?
Yeah.
Yeah. Once again, I welcome Dr. Joshan for this session. Already we have introduced Joshan, an eminent person who was working in machine learning techniques, deep learning, and in big data analytics. A specialized area in image processing and video analytics. So I welcome once again Joshan to take over the session. Please.
Thank you, Professor. Sir, can you able to see my screen?
Yes, Joshan, we can see.
Yes. So I'm really glad to be a part of this FTP for this third day. And today's topic is about content-based recommending system. So this is one of the very creative and efficiently analyzed way in which we have to provide, or not we, like the programmers, developer, analysis has to provide some a good knowledgeable information for the customers. So based upon their approach, so that's what it's called. Based upon the content, something has to be recommended, and this structure has to be systemized in such a way that it can be accessed wherever, whenever, in an optimal way. Okay, so this is a very basic definition or a basic meaning of this content-based recommendation system. So the ultimate aim is the related users belonging to some environment like online shopping or text-based analysis or server side, they have to provide an recommended, or they have to provide some suggestions based upon the content which we are approaching. So this is very common example where the supermarket plays a very vital role, or any online shopping will play a very vital role on getting something recommended from the developers based upon our content. Okay, so let me dig more onto it. Okay, so as a recommended system, the users based upon an examples of their preference. So what we need, or what definitely we want to achieve, so that will be suggested by the developers. So that is a very funny part of this, because what we need to get, what we need to buy, was everything will be suggested, not suggested, defined by the developers, and they make us to uh, buy these kind of things. Okay, so which made them, or which made us some interest of their approach, and making them to buy the project. So that is the main, very funniest part of the things. Even in this, we don't have knowledge to get into it. Somebody will push us into this knowledge and make us to understand, and make us to realize, and make us to accept that this should be needed for us, and they making us to get it. Simple. Okay. So for that, some of the very interesting objects like books, movies, CDs, web pages, and news group messages are one of the very well-known and defined uh, items or data where this recommendation system will play a vital role. Okay, and many websites which provide recommendation like Amazon, Netflix, right, Flipkart, all the way in which we trying to access the online or the web, where we trying to get some object, get some product. In that all the medium, this recommendation plays a vital role. And obviously, and definitely, and ultimately, this will trying to substantially increases the sales of the online store. So their ultimate goal is they have to sell their stock in such a way that in what unnecessary way they are, like they have to sell in such a way that they have to get some increase in the sales. So this is the same ultimate motto which we have seen in the yesterday's session also. Okay, so this has two basic approaches like collaborative filtering and content based filtering. So for today's class, we just see about what exactly the content based system is. Okay, and let me have a very good example of Facebook, where in previous like 10 to 15 years before itself, like the suggestion to make our own, to make more friends by using a tagline called "People You May Know" section. So this will be listed out based upon the mutual relationship among the people and their connectivity. So the ultimate aim of this people you may know tag is like to make the connectivity throughout the world, even the people who are known or unknown people, right? So based upon this, we can able to provide an worldwide relationship among this. So if Facebook developers have already created some 10 to 15 years before based upon this people movement. Okay, and then a good example is like if two customers are there, like trying to watch two similar two movies, and they started to give some related ratings for those movies, and then a new movie based upon the already watched scenario arrives. Then the similarity will be combined between the two users or two customers, and that will be recommended for both of them. So that is the main ultimate aim of this recommender system. So where is the input? And the more funnier part is like the input was given by us, and the output was taken by us. So what we give from that, we are achieving it. Okay, so so but the outline sketch was drawn by the developer, and the input was given by us, and definitely they going to get it more by our recommendations available. Okay, so if you see the given image, like it has a three users, user A, B, and C, and three users trying to like or recommend or to like some types of movies based upon the scenes. Like one is like a love romantic, and another one is horror and thriller, and movie C is a love and romantic. So this A and C are almost similar. So the user A, somewhere in some other time, they have liked or view or commented the movie A, and the movie C has been automatically recommended for user A. Okay, so based upon that, the recommendation system will be keep on increasing by the previous given information by the user. And what is called personalization. So this recommenders are instance of personalization software. Okay, so they trying to adapt to the individual needs, interest, and preference of the each user. So one common statement is like we are like 30 members in this meet, and we all 30 won't have the same set of mentality of watching the movie. So some may like romantic, some may like thriller, some may like historical movies. So some history based movies, okay, or comic movies. So based upon their preference for interest of each individual, the preference they made, and this personalization will be developed. Personalization, in my point of view, is like what in depth of knowledge we have, or what things we have in personal, and those things will be shown to the web, and though these are taken as input data for finding this recommendation. So this includes like recommending, filtering, and predicting. Okay, so recommending is like they will suggest, they in the sense the developer or the owners or the analysis will recommend or will suggest some related uh, products or data items based upon the things that we have been selected or given like. Okay, and filtering is like instead of showing all the ads which are available in the web, they will be filtering some of the related apps that are related ads that they need definitely. Okay, so that they need definitely they can able to obtain in the future use. So like if the customer was obtaining, this is one example in which we are working on it, okay, on real time project. Like if the customer was making a purchase in a January month of some 10 to 50,000, then in the next January they may get some discounts based upon the things or products they have uh, buy it. Okay, so this is fully based upon the business perspective, where the view as part of based upon the customer relationship management. So this word is a very strong and potential word, where people are very smart enough to find the relationship between the management and the customers. And now get into the point of machine learning. So this machine learning will be trying to insert wherever they are trying to find a gap. Okay, so that is the main role of this machine learning. So wherever the things has to be automated, wherever the performance has to be developed, or wherever there is a huge amount of data, and this machine learning trying to put his nose everywhere to show his effectiveness. Okay, so this machine learning can allows learning a user model or a profile on a particular user data based upon sample interactions and rated examples. Okay, so what is this rated example is like uh, we may come across many ads, many videos that will be scrolling down in the FB page, or like many like commercial websites, or very many a comic or a cinematic videos will be coming in the website, but we are not in a position to rate or like or comment all the videos. So there is some personal list in our mind or in our thing where that will be rated. Okay, so sample interactions and rated examples, and this model can be used to recommend, filter, and predict the behavior. Okay, so for this there is something called Pearson correlation is most definitely used, where trying to interact with the user A and the active users of you. Okay, so what is the active users and another user? So they are like if we are 30, we're watching a movie, and in 30 for all the one the one movie has not to be interested. Okay, so we have to find the similarity in which who has rated in which range. Okay, so then I have to find the similarity based upon this Pearson correlation, to find the similarity who are all suggested a same value of data or same value of rating. Then they their set will be taken, and for them the same related movie of same category will be generated or viewed, or giving some like discounts or whatever it may be. Okay, so for this Pearson correlation coefficient is mandatorily used. Why I'm saying definitely is like this is one of the very popular and very definitely used for this recommendation system. And in very first session we discussed about the similarity measure. So that if that similarity is not there, then there is no machine learning at all. Okay, so where in any algorithm, at least one single step, this similarity measure will definitely will be used. Okay, why? To find the relational between the two data points or two products or two users, etc. And and the definition for a covariance and equations for covariance and standard deviation was given here. And the significance weighting. So weightage is nothing but in what range between the scale of 0 to 100, in what weight the rating was taken. And if the rating was less than 50, what necessary step has to be taken. If the rating was greater than 50, what necessary step has to be taken. So if I raise a question like, have you interested in this session in 30, suppose 25 plus was giving a dislike symbol, then I'll definitely close the session and leave.
right? So based upon that threshold, it's like if it is like a 25 plus was giving me a thumbs up, then okay, they were somehow interested in getting something about this session, then I'll be getting more interest to get into it. So if the same 25 plus was giving a thumb down symbol, then I should ask the professor, and then I should leave the session, right? So likewise, the threshold has to be fixed based upon the scenario, based upon the criteria. Then we have to provide a significant weighting for all the analysis part. And neighborhood selection. So this is one of this is the another parameter in which we have to provide, or they will provide us a recommended suggest uh, analysis product. Okay, so based upon the nearby selection, so sorry, neighbor selections. Okay, so for a given active users, selected correlated users to serve as a source of predictions. Okay, so whichever user they are correlated together, then they can be taken as a source of prediction. So they will act as a prominent users for finding the similarity between them. Okay, so the developer ultimate aim is somehow push the this unrated movie to some people, so that they make that particular movie as a popular one for their rating, right? So they will find a situation, they will find a route path where I can able to push the movie, right? For that, this active users along with the related users will be serve as a source of prediction. Simple. And for this, the similarity weight will plays a very important role for analyzing the similar n number of users. Okay, and a rating prediction. So predicting a rating for each item for active users by using a n selected neighborhood issues users. Like, okay, so for a current rating, for a current rating of active users, we have to take the n neighborhood users, and the average will be taken in account to differentiate from the predictions. And the weight users rating contribution, it was given by the similarity of the active users, and the result was given here. So all these equations will be shown in a demo with the analysis part in the upcoming slides. Okay, and let me get into the real-time aspect of this recommendation system. And for that, I have taken the very popular and the name called Netflix, where this is nowadays available in all the Android and iOS apps, right? So phones. So this is the front view of the Netflix, where we have row headlines, my list, notifications, and several profile per contact, personal start page, Netflix one series, my recommendations, and charts, and recently watched. So in this, you can able to, as a name, you can able to definitely understand what exactly they're trying to project us, trying to insert us, okay, or trying to make us to watch. So in a single page, you can see all the recommendations or all the information that are available within the scene. So that is what I'm trying to repeat. I try to project more is their ultimate aim is they have to project as much as they can to increase the sales of the particular management, right? So in this, the movie recommendation to Netflix, user by profile name Josh. Okay, so in a series of time, I have watched Mission Impossible, James Bond, and Toy Story. Okay, for that I have given some rating. Okay, the review given was some review has been given, and the rating was good for first two, and bad for Toy Story. Okay, so basically I don't like Toy Story, so that's why I've given not given, I have taken as a bad comment, right? So if I give that, then based upon the rating scale, the value will be pushed off. For animation, 0; for action, 9; and for children, -6. Okay, so likewise, the rating was given in a scale range of somewhere from negative to positive. So here, we don't have the positive range from 0, because there are some movies where very worst for the particular user, and they may go in the rating of minus also, negative also. So they have given the range of negative to positive, right? So in this way, the rating scale or rating system will be plotted. So once they have given, so then in the next couple of days, like if there is any new action movie, because for action I have graded for 9 and almost 10, so they may suggest me some action movies based upon this input. So that's what I said, the input was given by us and the recommendation was given by them and the selection was given by us, and money also will be debited from us, right? So that is the main ultimate aim, right? So that is the main ultimate aim of that particular analysis part. So this information plays a very vital role for this set of possible movies that we have recommended in the earlier stage. Okay, and so this is the internal workflow of Netflix. So we all know, like we have seen recommended movies, suggest movie, recently played, and then wish list, then chat box, whatever it may be. But if you get into the internal part or a software part, where how this Netflix was really working on it was shown here. Okay, so they might have updated in the current stage, but this I have been taken from the web, and this should be the right. It may be the right way in the workflow diagram. Okay, so initially request will be made in the web interface. So web interface is the visual scene where we can able to identify something and call record the system. So this legendary was given here based upon the pipeline flow, method execution, and a data query and a data transfer object. So there is something called content database where all the content related to the particular Netflix or particular scenario was stored, and this user table database is the where we can able to provide all our related recommended wish list movies or whatever it may be. So in case of Netflix, we will have some web series, videos or dramas or whatever. Okay, so initially request the topics, and based upon the user ID, location, device type, and speed, we just retrieving the candidate items, and the predicting the and pass the popular item to the predictor and calculating the predictor. So we may have the popular item as the way in which we visualize in Netflix. Okay, so somewhere like I don't like romantic, then I don't go with the love and romantic movies. Instead of that, I can go with very like comics or historical movie or whatever it may be. So based upon my past informations, past rated, like commented informations, they will be calculating the prediction. So here the machine learning plays a very vital role. So initially, a web interface, a default HTML tag, either it may be a PHP with PHP, with JavaScript, jQuery, Ajax, whatever it may be. It's a web interface. From the web interface, based upon the user ID, of course, we need some user information to get into the particular account of the Netflix. So user ID, obviously, they even if your GPS system was off, they will be smart enough to track your location. So our locations and in which device you have connected, and even the speed of the Wi-Fi or in which data pack you are connected, everything will be analyzed by the developers or analyzers. Okay, from them the retrieving the candidate item. So item here is what type of movie I was watching very frequently, not which movie, what kind of movie I'm watching frequently. So based upon the list, I'm just calculating the prediction, and once the prediction was calculated with the user database, and it just moving on to the order by relevance. Okay, so either by the time series in the sense newly released movies, or based upon the like analysis of the already watched movie, some order will be generated, and ordered list will be generated. One item has been deemed not relevant, and that will be projected to the web interface. Okay, so list is sent to the web interface. So initially it was like A, B, C, D, E, F, and once the prediction was done, it was showing some liking stars for each and every candidate items, and from that the list was generated, like most popularly rated item, and that will be visible to the interface, again to the web interface. Okay, but this everything will be done in a single click. So that is the main ultimate aim of their smartness. And in a one click, by giving some set of informations, all the content will be retrieved. All the recommended content will be retrieved, and it will be shown before you in a attractive, catchy HTML interface, right? So that is the main workflow of this Netflix. Okay, and in case of content based filtering, like one user will trying to, based upon the user profile, some mathematical or machine learning algorithm will be act on it, and all the content run through the content analyzer to create a model of the items. Okay, and then user interact with the content, and the system create a user profile in a user profile. Okay, so there is two component. One is user profile and content analyzer. So based upon the content, with the previous content which we have given, this will be analyzed, and that will be visualized to the users. Okay, so the ultimate aim here is the input was given by us, and some prediction of rating was done by them, and based upon their convenient, based upon the input which we have given, they will be recommending some new or updated informations for our on based upon the content. Okay, and so what are all the steps to build a recommendation system? So the first one is understand the business. So what is the goal and the parameters of the project? So here the parameter for the project is like whether the person is capable enough for pay the monthly fee for the Netflix, or whether the person is capable enough to watch some set of number of movies that they have recommended in their own path. Okay, then they will keep on collect the data. So this data plays a very vital role in for all the scenarios for this Netflix or this content based recommendations, reviewing, rating, complaint, or product return. Okay, these three main parameters or key points will be used to get to track the data or to get the data from the users. And the third one is like explore, clean, and augment the data. So what is the need of augmentation here is like basically the augment is projecting the original image in a different way, so that that can be taken in different orientation angle for understanding. Okay, so if we take the chatbot as an example, some may write how are you as HRU, some may write HOWAREYYU, some may write HW space AR space WU, some may write for you they write YU. Okay, so likewise they may augment the data in a different format, so that whatever the structure of the sentence is, the system should understand, and they should provide the efficient result. The result here is efficient reply has to be given to the question. So the user's current taste, and removing the older data that might be no longer be relevant, or adding a new vector factor to give more importance to the real action compared to the old one. So their ultimate aim is they have to give more and more interesting factors to the customers, so that they should not leave even a specific one customer from their side. So that is the ultimate aim of this. Then predicting the ranking. So this ranking plays a vital role, where in what way we just ranking the performance, or in what way we just providing input, and even that particular ranking input will be taken as a input for them for future analysis. And the fourth one is like visualize the data. So when we have a like Excel sheet which contains some 100 rows, 100 columns, then that won't be very visible for us to understand. But if the data was in a plotting way, then definitely you can able to understand the visualization. So then at last iterate and deploy the model. So this is one of the main ultimate aim of for all the developer team, to provide the same set of actions: getting the data, cleaning them, predict the ranking, visualize, and keep on doing the same process. At last they will deploy a model. So if suppose, I don't know how many of them were been to Chennai actually. So you just think somewhere in your place. So if there is a textile shop in one place, and there will be continuously some 2 or 3 textile shops in and around the same shop. So I don't know how many of them have noticed that. So if there is a hotel, then there will be, so there will be like more number of related hotels or related mechanic shop in and around the area, where they try to compete with each other. If there is a jewelry shop in single one place, in and around them there will be like 5 to 6 jewelry shop. So in machine learning there is something called hill climbing, or there is something called like, what to say, like silhouette matching, we can say. Okay, likewise app development, data science development, and government and management and development. Okay, so likewise the circle will be keep on moving for each and every area where they are trying to provide data repository in for their online protections. Okay, so and the content based recommendation system will be work on this interface, like data that the users provide either by the rating or clicking on the link. So that's what I said. Even a single click in a particular web page in a FB will be rated, will be counted by taking some set informations from us. Okay, so that is the main intellectual part of the developer. Even a single click will be recorded, and if there is anything available in the same recommended video, will be visualized in the scrolling up of your page. Okay, so recommendation engine, users actions, analyzed and recommended. Okay, and let me just dig more into the analysis part of the this content based recommender. Okay, so now we are going to see about the two term. One is term frequency and inverse document frequency. So this is mainly used for information retrieval systems, and also for a content based filtering mechanism, and they are used to determine the how relatively the importance of the documents or movies or etc. So they have to provide some relative measures among the documents. Okay, so TF, that is a term frequency, is simply a frequency of the word in a document. So suppose when I'm trying to search for a word in a Microsoft Word, then you may found like these many words are available with a list. Okay, terms frequency. And in case of IDF, that is inverse document frequency, is a inverse of document frequency among the whole corpus of the document. And TD and IDF are mainly used because of two reasons. Like suppose when I'm trying to search for any word in a Google, right? So because this Google will be a very much, even it has 2 zeros in the word Google, but 2 zeros in the word like o, but they works very efficient in analyzing all the result, right? So if suppose just think like this, if this Google server was not working for a second, then what will happen? Okay, so it is certain that the will occurs more frequently than analysis. So this is the word I'm trying to trying to search: the rise of analytics, right? So the will occurs more frequently than analytics, because analytics is a keyword for data science, artificial intelligence, machine learning, deep learning. Then what, wherever the automized technology was there, this analytics will plays a very vital role. But if you think of the this is a very common term common word where that will be related to all the things in the globe, right? But the relative importance to analysis is higher than the search query point of view. Okay, in such a case, like the weight will be calculated based upon this formula: 1 plus log of 10 td. So if it is if the tf is 10, then 1 plus log of 10 power 10 is 1, so 1 plus 1 0. If it is 0, if the tf is 0, then a log of 10 power 0, anything something power anything with 0 is okay. And if it is somewhere like 1000, then the respective 4 answer will be given. Okay, and so let me just understand the make you to understand this tf and idf. Then now we are getting into the one term called vector space model. So what is a vector? So they are the sum of the set of group of items of some attributes in an n-dimensional space, and the angle between the vectors are calculated to determine the similarity between the vectors. So initially the feature values are taken as attribute, and once it has been transformed into a dimensional way, then that can be taken as a vector. Right, so if you see the image in the right side, we have a graph representation like cloud versus analytics. Okay, so I have two attributes, cloud and analytics, and m1 and m2 are the document of that particular analytics and cloud respectively, and u1 and u2 are the users. So the document m is more about analytics, and m2 is more about analytics, and m1 is more about cloud. So I'm sure that we have to find how far the relative importance of the document is measured. So for this, I'm just getting into the case study for calculating the TF and IDF. So for this, I'm just using a cosine transform, cosine similarity measures for finding the relational angle in the sense similarity between the user profile UI and the document vector. Okay, so the value of cosine will increase with decrease the value of angle between the significance more similar. Okay, so I'm just searching for a word: analytics, data, cloud, smart, and insight. So I'm just getting some 6 articles, 1 to 6, and each have some respective counts. If we take analytics like 21, 24, 44, 8, 17, and if we take insight for 6 articles, they have 2, 0, 19, 1, 4, and 5. Okay, so they're making a total and just for finding the df. Okay, so okay, so df is nothing but the document frequency. So how far the particular word was available within the article. And in case of a term frequency, they will be calculated as we discussed, as we seen earlier, 1 plus log of 10 power tf. So initially the tf, the analytic part, the article 1 was 21, and so now I'm just putting that 21 over here and finding the result as 2.322. And likewise I'm just checking out for all the things. So I'll repeat. So document frequency is number of data, number of times the particular word was available in the search space, and that was given here. In case of term frequency, like by make use of the occurrence of the word with this formula 1 plus log of 1021, the value will be estimated and placed over here. Likewise, I'm just doing for all the terms: analytics, data, cloud, smart, and insight for the article 1 to 6, and the length of the vector has been provided in the last column, right? And so once they have been estimated, now it's time to estimate the inverse document frequency, and this is calculated by the logarithmic inverse of the document frequency along the whole corpus of the whole document. So if we take the total of 1 million document returning by the search query, then the smart appears 0.5 million document seconds. Okay, then that will be inserted in this algorithmic way, and that was provided as a result. Okay, so the length of the vectors are calculated as the square root of sum of the squared value of each attribute in the vector, right? And they have been calculated by the square root of squared value of each attribute. So my attribute here is analytics, data, cloud, smart, and insight, and based upon the result obtained by each of the value, and square root of sum of the square of all the attributes has been calculated. And the TF and IDF weights and also the vector length, let's normalize the vector. So what is the need of normalization here is, like, the data which we have which we have obtained was in a range of very difficult way in which we could not able to put them together. Okay, so that is the main nature of normalization, where putting all the values in a single range from 0.4 to 0, sorry, somewhere if you see like 0.3 to 0.7, rather than putting all the values between the higher distributions. Because in machine learning, like, if the data are very close enough or very are available within a specific range, then they will be very potential enough to identify the expected result. So expected result in the sense what they want to expect from us, that will be made us to select. Okay, and this cos of a1 and a2 is simply the sum of the dot product of normalized term vector from both the article. So likewise, the similarity measures with all the attributes, one among them has been calculated. Okay, and so that is what the main need of TF and IDF. So frequent document frequency has been taken and a term frequency is calculated, and that the cosine transform is used to find the similarity, and normalized is used to put all the state of the data in a the specific range, in which in a limited range where we can able to easily accessible. And the next one is learning intelligent book recommending agent. So this is one of the already available package where we can able to provide or where we can able to recommend some books based upon the some online users where they are working on it. So content based recommended for book using information about the titles extracted from the Amazon. Okay, and this Libra system, so Libra is nothing but the name which was given that down, like learning intelligent book recommending agent. Okay, so they have a field such as like authors, title, reviewer, customer, subject terms, related authors, and related titles. So these are all the important features where they play a very vital role. Okay, so because without this a book could not be completed. They should need an author, a title, editorial reviewer who suggests the book, and customer comments once it has been get into the online, and what kind of subject terms what was it there, and related authors and related titles. So these are the very important keywords of recommending a system for a anywhere. Okay, and Amazon pages, and information extractions, and Libra database. So I'm just giving the module, and I'm just at last I will be giving the entire workflow. Okay, I'm just visualizing, or some users is visualizing the Amazon pages, and rated the examples, and based upon our rating, the analyzer of the database will be working on it. So here comes the hero of the map, like machine learning learns from the rating examples. User profile for us will be created, and with the user profile, with the database, with the learning scenario, predictor will be identified, and the recommendation will be listed. Simple. Okay, so there should be a database, there should be information extraction, there should be a rating. With all this information, the learner will provide a prediction for a recommend with the recommendation list for the user profile. Okay, and the sample extracted information will be in such a way like an HTML tag representations. Okay, and for the title, author, price, publication data, ISBN number, related titles, reviewer, comment, related attributes, everything will be added into the database in this search format. Okay, why? So this tag like symbol, less than and greater than symbol, will differentiate the value from the attributes. Okay, so if I have some many number of attributes, and the respective sections will be given for each and every values. Okay, and so the same example was shown, pictorial representation, how far it will be classified, and how the movies will be classified: action, adventure, animated, comedy, drama, historical, thriller, science fiction, romance, musical, and horror. So likewise, the data will be classified, and based upon our rating and liking, the recommendation will be produced. Okay, and the rating will be like in the range of 6 to 10, and it will be positive, and the rating of 1 to 5 will be of negative. Okay, and the scale range, and basically they use like a conditional probability parameters and a Bayesian rule for estimating, for predicting this probability. Okay, so yesterday we have seen very well about the conditional probability parameters and how they have used based upon the prior probability and posterior probability, right? So for any kind of predictions and recommendations, they play a very vital role. And an example with the rating are of 1 to 10 scale. In a 10 scale, then the positive probability is will be calculated r minus 1 divided by 9, and negative probability will be calculated by 10 minus r divided by 9. Okay, and okay, and in case of active learning, like sample sections, learning with queries will be used based upon the committee based sampling and uncertainty sampling. Okay, and here semi supervised learning plays a very vital role. Semi-supervised learning will plays a very vital role for expectation maximization, because why semi-supervised learning is, in my point of view, what this is like, it has the combination of both supervised and unsupervised, because day by day the data, the rating, the commands and liking will be different for the same users, because we won't be in the same mentality for every day, right? So we are not a machine to work on the same set of rules, same set of uh, reacting for the same scenes, or reacting for the same situation. So our mentality will be keep on changing, right? And based upon the result, based upon the rating, this machine learning approach has to be adapt itself. So semi supervised learning will plays a very vital role. Like initially they have some training data with some labels, and in the real time, in the time series, upcoming data comes, it just started to build the model with the upcoming new data. Okay, and SVM, so this translective SVM plays a very vital role for this recommendation systems. Okay, and the next one is like creating binary representation. So binary is nothing but 0 or 1s. So previously, for in the first case study, we have seen like for a TF and IDF, we have used some decimal values, whereas for this we are just giving 0 or 1, whether yes or no. So I have some set of movies: adventure, action, science fiction, drama, crime and thriller, and for that, for all specific movies, the user 1 and 2 has given some rating. User 1 was interested with adventure, action, science fiction, and in case of user 2 it was -1. So like they are not giving under rating for the given movies. Okay, and user 1 and 2 was not interested for giving a rating or a liking for first, second and third movies. So likewise, the table was drawn, and binary representations was calculating a total number of attributes currently present for the particular keyword. Like article 1, they have big data, Python, and learning path. So they have taken the attribute as 3. And article 2, they have some R and Python and machine learning 3. Likewise, the total number of attribute has been calculated, and document frequency was calculated for the respective keywords, right? And the one more very complicated thing here is, for each and every for each and every row, the attribute get varies. Okay, initially in machine learning, we will have like the set of attributes has to be same. It may be empty, but they has to be same for same number of attributes for all the datas, right? So here the number of datas will get varies based upon the representations. Okay, so once it has been done, obviously they make some normalized way. Normalization is performed by dividing the term occurrence of one or zero by the square root of the attribute of an article, and the normalization was handled by 1 divided by square root of 3. 3 in the sense like number of attributes for the respective value they have been calculated. And for user 1, based upon the input given, that was calculated by the sum of the product of some values. Okay, so with this we can see like user 1 was very much associated with providing the result of for this kind of searchings. Okay, and the next application is about NLP, like okay, where NLP is called natural language processing, where this content based recommendation plays a very vital role. So as I said earlier, we won't be in a same mentality in acting for the same situation the same day or in couple of days, right? So when the speech was generated, the particular speech will be converted into natural language understanding, and the dialogue management will respond or for generate the real scenario, real aspect of the language content, and the response will be generated and speech will be analyzed. Okay, so for that there is something called sequential modeling, like matching the document, sequence completion, sequence generation, and sequence tagging and classification plays a very vital role for this unsupervised representation learning. So ranking with typical applications on a document ranking for search and recommendation, text classification to predict the label of a input sequence, whereas in case of sequence tagging is to predict the label of each and every word in a given sequence with a typical for a typical application based upon the name entity recognition. So the one more intellectual part here is the content, meaning, and the structure of the data will get varies for each and every people for each and every scenario respectively. Okay, so they have to be in a position to work optimally to identify, to provide the meaning, result, prediction in a very potential optimal way to get the output. Okay, and the real-time examples of NLPs are based upon recommendation systems are sentimental analysis, information extraction, question answering, machine learning, and information retrieval. So question answering is like suppose I was giving the lecture in English, but if someone was asking some questions in a language which I could not able to understand, then I should be in a position be in a silent position. So in that case, if I have some recommended way in which to convert all the content of the uh, um, content in which they speaks in a language, then that can be automatically converted to me in a English or a Tamil or in Hindi, even in Hindi. Okay, right? And then information retrieval. So what kind of informations the particular document was trying to project? So nowadays, including me, we are not in a calm enough to understand the whole set of data. So instead of that, if we have a hint, if we have a description, then we can able to understand it. So what kind of information I can able to retrieve from the whole set of huge data? right? And machine translation, like language translation. This is the one example in Google. You can able to see like from English to some other languages, from Chinese to English, or English to Tamil, Telugu, whatever it may be, that can be done. Okay, this everything will be, this recommendation plays a very vital role. Okay, and some of the more insights of this recommendation based upon NLP was given here: text classification, then information retrieval, then search engines, personal assistant, then spam classification, then social media analysis. So this is one of the very interesting and a very hot topic nowadays, like how the social media giving an impact for peoples. Then retail catalog extractions and legal entry, uh, entity extractions, okay, and financial analysis. So this everything, this recommendation plays a vital role. That's why we are getting unwanted messages like we offer this much of loan, we are trying to extend your credit card range from lakh to 10 lakh plus, or whatever it may be. Okay, so all this will have some impact on NLP with the concept of recommendations, right? And let me have an example. So if you see this demo chatbot, like the system perfectly analyze the data, analyze the format, analyze the concept, and understand the meaning, and just providing the reply. Okay, so it may be of any sequence of data, it may be of any format, any language it may be. The system should be potential enough to analyze it. Okay, so this chat box plays a very vital role not only for NLP, also they can able to scan your entire activities for past some days, and they can able to suggest you even if you're trying to book a pizza based upon your prescribed tablet. Okay, so that could be one funny part, like if a person was trying to book a pizza in online, then from the other side of the management or analysis development, they can suggest you like, sir, we recommend this kind of pizza because you are taking like this many dosage of tablet for your sugar, and this will be an efficient pizza for your health. So likewise also system can be developed for making the showing the intellectual or intelligence of the recommendations. Okay, and professor, do you have time? So it's just some 10 to 15 slides are there. Okay, so I'm just rushing up. So in deep learning, I'm just getting into this recommendation in terms of deep learning. Okay, so deep learning is a family of machine learning that we have discussed yesterday, not fully of deep learning, but this is trying to how our brain inspired in the same way the neuron interact with each other. In the same way, this deep learning will place a workflow of the model. Okay, so the difference between the deep learning and machine learning was given here. Initially in machine learning, we have to give the input. From the input, features will be extracted, and the extracted features will be optimized, pre-processed, cleaned, and that will be given for the classification. From that, the prediction will be obtained. Whereas in case of deep learning, only the data is given. From the data, the feature extraction and classification will be formed, and the result will be shown in the output. Okay, and even the one more funniest part is like we just want to give only the input for the image deep learning, and the rest of the things will be automatically done by the learning methods, and the performance will speaks only with the range of above 98 plus, and when it compares with the other older algorithms. Okay, so the main environment for deep learning is like Python with the Keras and TensorFlow with OpenCV and scikit-learn. Okay, and why we need to go for deep learning? So they are like handcrafted features. Handcrafted features is like how far they are intended to obtain a perfect optimal feature value from the given image. Okay, simple trainable classifiers will be used for obtaining the result. So once the feature was extracted very optimally, then whatever the algorithm is, whatever the parameter is, they definitely will provide an efficient result. Okay, and in case of deep learning for recommendation, this increasingly tuning from more traditional machine learning method to highly expressive deep learning to provide a quality of the recommendation. So since we have huge number of data and we have a GPU system, then the value obtaining from the data is more efficient for the deep learning to provide an efficient result. Okay, and this is like a labeling result based upon the recommended or obtained rating by the user for the given object. Okay, and once it has learned to make a prediction with a sufficient level of accuracy, the model can be able to find the likelihood of the new interaction. So how far they can able to suggest for a particular user based upon the liking and a rating of the particular users. Okay, and in case of a recommendation interface, it's like things you click on, things you purchase, and things you consume. Okay, so based upon this will be calculated and this will be identified. Okay, further candidate generation and based upon item similarity with individual interest with the candidate ranking associated with the filtering, this will be identified. Okay, so this is the general workflow of how this deep learning for recommendation interface will be done. And one workflow of how the deep learning aspect of feed forward neural network, multi-layer perceptual neural network, or it may be of convolutional neural network or RNN. This is the main workflow of identifying the result. Like users with the item, building the model, and use the model with the content item embedded to recommend the next similar items, and the rating will be given. Okay, and as a conclusion part, we have seen recommending and personalizations are the very important aspect of this information overload, and machine learning is very important aspect of this task, and collaborative filtering has a problem, and content based method address the problem, and integrating both in the best. So that's all from my side. If you have any queries, you can ask.
Participants, if you have any other queries, you can post the queries in chat box, or also you can turn on your mic and raise your queries directly. Thank you, Joseph sir. I think there is no query from the participant side. It is very interesting and interactive session, and we are also very happy to have such a eminent person for our session. It is also very useful for the teaching community. Thank you for accepting our invitation and address the content to the faculty members. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. And I request the participants to join the afternoon session based on the schedule already sent to you through the WhatsApp group. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Afternoon session starts at 1:30. It's going to be delivered by Dr. Kesavaraja, Associate Professor, Department of CAC, Dr. Sivendra College of Engineering. So I request all the participants to join at 1:30 for the afternoon session. Thank you. Now you can leave from the meet. After lunch, we will meet at 1:30. Thank you.